Okay, y'all. It's Kendall. I was gonna do a let's do a um, gear run through. Uh, this is my kit. Uh, it's a it's not. I mean, it's not all the same brand. Uh, the drums are not. Uh, when I ever since I first wanted a drum kit, I always said if I ever get a drum kit, I'll have two bass drums. Just a preference versus running pedal system. Uh, the main kit um, is a 5 piece Mapex. I think it's a Mapex Voyager. Mapex Voyager. Uh, 5 piece. Uh, the two toms that are suspended on the it's a 22-inch kick drum. Uh, then there's 4 toms. It's one floor tom. The two suspended toms, and then this tom, I had to buy this little piece of hardware to go, and this. I think this is the only piece of equipment I got that's Tama. Uh, so that's got the ball for that tom. I guess that's what an 8-inch tom. If I had to just, so 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, and 14-inch, 16-inch maybe. And then the snare. Well, first of all, the oldest thing I have sitting here dates back to this past January, so the whole thing's really new to me. But the oldest thing I have is these two pedals, and they were bought as a pedal, uh, uh, what do you call it? Uh, where the two cables are connected. I don't know why I can't think of the name right now. That's kind of ironic because I'm not using it. I separated the two cables from that piece of hardware that I have put away, and I'm just using them as two individual pedals. Uh, but I had the pedal system with the not cable, but what is it? It's a the connecting bar thing that I can't think of. It's square. Uh, I, um, I bought those to use with I first bought an electronic drum kit just to make sure I could still do it. And then I graduated to this. I kept the pedals with me. Everything that's on the floor is dirty because I live with dogs. I don't have somebody here to help me clean. Uh, the So we have 22-inch, and then the additional drum kit I found I bought separately. I'm kind of proud I got it for only $35. It's a Mark II, and because it's a color it is, I kind of associate that color with Mark Twain, and I also always wanted to learn to play, and currently in the process of learning to play Tom Sawyer by Rush, Neil Peart. Um, so Twain, back in the riverboat days, remember the guy Mark Twain? His name was Samuel Langhorne Clemens. So he wanted to make up a pseudonym to write under, and he came up with Mark Twain because back then on the riverboats, the Mississippi River is really shallow, and there would be a guy standing there with a stick that was 12 feet long. So like a twain is 6 feet, right? So if a twain is 6 feet, the guy would stand there with a stick that was 12 feet long because 12 feet is the minimum depth that a riverboat can operate in. So the guy would be sticking the he would periodically the guy would stick the stick in, and if it ever touched the bottom, he would yell out to the captain, "Mark Twain," meaning like we're in 12 feet of water. We need to steer away from these shallows. So that's the way Mark Twain came up with his name. He was apparently on a riverboat and heard that and thought, hey, that'd make a pretty good name for me to write under. So since Twain is literally Twain is 2 times 6 feet. Twain is two of anything. You have two balls laying there on the bed, then that's Twain balls. That's like an old English like version of the word two, TWAIN, TWO. So if the Twain is two, and this is a Mark II drum, so I called the drum Mark Twain. Anyway, so that's my secondary kick. So like, and I have these beaters that I bought, aluminum beaters. I ain't playing around with my beaters. I want to hear my beaters and I want them to be heavy. Um, so I have the red one and the blue one. The red is the right, and the blue is the left. And so, so we have this tone, and my kick drums are packed pretty tight. I don't have something just laying in there. It's actually touching both sides. You see that? It's a comforter, and this is a comforter and a blanket. So you have, and then also on the Mark Twain drum, the spikes, it came missing one spike. So I went to Home Depot and I thought I'm gonna need something to dig in, like to the rug, so it won't move. So I ended up with two DeWalt masonry drill bits that are, I think, 1/4 inch in diameter, and as the saying goes, that ain't going nowhere. Uh, so so that's the drums. The snare is is a is a Questlove snare that was bought purely on the fact that I needed a snare and it was $65, and that's about how much I wanted to spend on a used snare. But it sounds great. It's got a real bright. All the drums are tuned pretty tight. I'm not interested in any low low tension sound. I want everything to sound tight. Anyway, before we start playing, let's get to the cymbals. So the hi-hat, it's a brand new, I bought the stand brand new. It's a Gibraltar. And then the cymbals is 14-inch pearl hi-hats. I bought them used, and I'm kind of proud of this too. I got the two cymbals together for only $10. So I bought those. That was part of the evolution of the electronic kit. That was the first acoustic item that I bought to go with my electronic kit. I bought this acoustic hi-hat and the Gibraltar stand. So then the other cymbals, this cymbal, which is a 16-inch crash, and then this cymbal, which is a 20-inch ride. I bought them as a part of a 4-cymbal pack. It was these two and a hi-hat, top and bottom, which I'm not using right now. I haven't put to the side. And then this is my most recent addition. This is a Meinl cymbal, and it's also an 18-inch crash. I figured because it was a different brand, it would have a different sound, and it does, and it's a good secondary sound for my secondary crash. So that's the kit. Which one I'm leaving out? Oh, the snare stand is a Ludwig Atlas snare stand. I'm really pleased with it. And the only other pieces I have back here you can't see because of the cymbals. I have this thing that allowed me to suspend my ride cymbal to this single cymbal stand. This clamp-on thing right here. It's got a cymbal arm. I play Danny Carey signature Vic Firth. Mostly because I like Danny Carey so much. No, let me say that. Partially because I like Danny Carey so much. That's what drew me to buy my first pair of these. It's like my third pair of these. And but I like the fact that he designed them to where, I don't know if you can see, there's a little small indentation in the slope here that allows the stick not to slip out of your hand. And in particular, since I'm missing fingers on both hands, that's really useful to me so that the sticks don't slip out of my hand. On this hand, I can play traditional from my put this part from my friend Buddy Gibbons. I can play traditional, but I don't go between these two fingers because this finger, my ring finger's locked. So I go between these two fingers when I play traditional, which is seldom, but traditional. But I play match, and I actually allow the stick to sit inside this locked finger, and it works pretty good. Okay, so tones. Everything's wound pretty tight, except for me. Uh, so, uh, uh, so the kick drums are tight, and I play pretty hard. I heard after I started playing so hard, I thought, do I need to be hitting these this hard? And then I heard somebody talking about being in the room with Neil Peart practicing, and couldn't get over how hard he was hitting everything. So I feel like that's okay that I'm hitting pretty hard. So everything's pretty tight. Okay, so then hi-hat. Snare. We just got through tuning my toms today, so I got. That almost sounds like a timpani. Okay, so cymbals, and then first crash cymbal. Secondary crash cymbal. And then my ride. So I guess that's pretty much it for my gear walkthrough. Tighten the snare. Hard to play with one hand. So that's my gear rundown. My name's Kendall Johnson. Thanks for watching. I don't know if you should subscribe, like, something. I don't know what's going to become of this channel. So anyway, thanks for your interest.